Hello and welcome to Let's Play Taito Chase H.Q. This game is very similar to Battle Outrun but a lot harder. Just leave the title screen for a moment because it shows some interesting things. Yeah, so Taito Corporation 1990. Makes me feel very old, this does. Although I first actually played this game in 1997. Your mission is to catch up with criminals without the A, and there's a course map. You don't really need the map. It's just there. Yeah, and there's the demo. I just talked through this on the demo. So as you can see, there's a distance bar. That means when that completely gets to blue, you'll catch up with the target car. Every time you pass a car, even though it doesn't show it on the demo, you get 200 points. And if you pass another one without hitting one, you get an extra 200 points. So for each subsequent car that you pass, you get 200 points, then 400, 600, 800, etc. The most I've ever gotten up to is 9800. I think it might stop at 9800, but I can't remember. Haven't done it in a while. As soon as you touch another car, it resets itself back to 200 next time you pass a car. Yeah, there's no brake button like Battle Outrun. The button 2 just activates the turbo, and so the only way to slow down is to keep your hand off the keep your finger off the accelerator. Anyway, let's go. There's a picture of the protagonist getting into the car. Yeah, this game is about a special police department was set up to combat high-profile criminals escaping in very fast cars. To combat that, to capture them, apprehend them. Anyway, yeah, and then we get to the part select. On the first mission, you have no points, so you can't do anything. All you can do is change this. Don't press button 2 yet, because that will get to the next screen. Press button 2 to activate these. So I can't do any of these because I have no points to spend. Mission is either manual or automatic. Manual is completely pointless. It just makes the game much harder than it already is. It's hard enough as it is, meaning that you can change the gear up and down from high to low and low to high. I always have it on auto. It doesn't change the high speed, the top speed or anything. So I always have an auto. BGM, you can either have the background music or not. I prefer to have the background music because otherwise you get very bad sound effects of a car accelerating along with every time you pass a car. I just don't like it. I prefer the music. So yeah, I'll have it on. I'll turn it off for the second level though, just to show you what it's like, and then afterwards I'll always have it to set. Yeah, I'll talk about these the next time I get on this screen. Right, so off we go. So yeah, this is Nancy at Chase HQ. We've got an emergency here. Ralph the Idaho slasher is fleeing toward the suburbs. They say toward instead of towards because it's American. And so it's fleeing toward the suburbs. The target vehicle is a blue British sports car over Taito monitoring system. You don't really have to know what the car looks like because when you get up to it, the music changes, the sirens blare, and there's a big red arrow over it, and you can never overtake him. So here we go. So press 1 to accelerate. As I have it on auto, it automatically takes you up to high gear on its own, which is recommended really. Highest speed is 200 and I think it's 240 something. I'll have a look. So you get points for just moving, and every time you pass you get 200 and 400, and it resets itself if you hit a car. Yeah, when you get to that bit, choose the one with the arrow on it, the route with the arrow on it. If you don't choose the one with the arrow on it, the distance bar is reset back to yellow, and you have to pretty much have to start from scratch, but with the time you've already lost, without the time you've lost. So the first stage is right, the second stage is right, The third and fourth stages are left, and the fifth stage is right. And after the fifth stage, you get to round 2, which is a repeat of round 1, but there are more lampposts and trees to crash into, and the target car is harder. And then after you do that one, you get to round 3, where everything is harder still, and then you complete the game. So you just stage 1 to 5 repeat themselves for 3 rounds, just make it a bit harder. 3 continues. When you run out of time, you can use a continue. If you are going to use a continue, make sure you press the continue immediately, otherwise because the car continues to escape and get away, your distance will quickly fill yellow. So press the continue immediately. Yeah, you start every level with 3 turbos always, so use them up because they're not carried through. So if you don't use them, you actually forfeit them. So use them, but sometimes I do some of the early levels so fast I don't actually need them. I tend to save them for when I get to the target car, because it makes the target car a bit easier. You shouldn't need them until you get up to the target car. So yeah, so top speed is about 240. With the turbo, it gets up to 270, I think. Yeah, I think it gets up to 270. The damage bar is how much damage you've done to the target car. Obviously I've done none yet because I haven't caught up with him, so when it gets all red, he'll be apprehended. So off we go. So choose the right route. If you don't, the distance is reset. So I chose the right route, the correct one I mean. So the distance is the same. So yeah, avoid the yellow things, but yeah, that's a tunnel. Don't hit the side of the tunnel before you enter, otherwise it will spin you out like hitting a lamppost. Yeah, avoid the yellow things, but don't. It's better to hit the yellow things than the cars, because the yellow things don't slow down as much and won't reset your score that you get for passing cars. So, but if you have to hit anything, hit a car or a yellow thing rather than a lamppost, because a lamppost completely slows you down and makes you have to start again from being completely still. So don't hit a lamppost, tree, rock, boulder, or Taito sign, pretty much. So I've nearly caught up with him, and here he is. Damn, hit him. Never mind. So that's the score reset back to 0. Use a turbo and just keep hitting it. It's best to hit him from the side because you don't slow down as much. Just avoid the lamppost at all costs. Yeah, the green things don't really matter. Don't worry about hitting into them. If you notice the screen flickers, I'll just pause it there. I can't do anything about that. On the Master System, this doesn't occur. The screen flickers when you go around a bend. I can't seem to stop it. I can't seem to find a ROM or emulator where that doesn't occur. It's really annoying. So you just have to put up with that. But on the Master System, it doesn't occur. Yeah, so that's it. So we've caught him. 63 seconds. That's quite good. You get 60 seconds at the start of a level. Okay, you're under arrest on suspicion of first-degree murder. There he is. Yeah, he's the Idaho slasher. You get 60 seconds at the start of the level, and then when you catch up with the target car, you get an additional 60 seconds, so time isn't wasted. If you catch up with him with 30 seconds remaining, it'll give you an extra 60 seconds, taking you up to 90. So you don't lose any seconds if you're getting up to 30. It doesn't just give you 60 to get the target car, so you don't lose any time. And we now have money. I'll turn that off because I was going to turn it off for the next level. Yeah, the manual recommends that you always put the oil and the tyre on, otherwise the car will slow down and you won't be able to take corners as easily. I can afford a turbo, but that just gives me an extra turbo, giving me 4, because you start every level with 3, no matter how many you used in last level. That'll just give you an extra turbo if you need it. I don't really need it, and they're quite expensive. I don't really start using them until round 3, and the supercharger makes your car go as fast as if you had a turbo. So if you have a turbo, use a turbo with the supercharger, you go even faster, up to 299, I think. Although I'll check that when I use it. Yeah, supercharger makes your car go as fast with a turbo, but not with a turbo, if you know what I mean. It's like a permanent turbo, but again only lasts for 1 level. And the manual recommends that not to get a bump all the time because it slows the car down. But I never find that. It's really useful because it makes you hurt the cars more. You do more damage to the target car. So I always get a bumper. So always get an oil, a tyre and a bumper. So let's go. Whoops, wrong button. Yeah, make sure you press button 1 to select these, not 2, otherwise you'll go to the next screen like this. Right, Taito monitoring system. This is Nancy at Chase H.Q. We've got an emergency here. Carlos, the New York armed robber, has been spotted in a yellow sports car on the freeway. Over. Remember, it just says he's the New York armed robber. We'll be coming back to that. Doesn't say anything else, just that he's an armed robber. And off we go. So yeah, no music, so now you get the awful sound effects, which I hate. Trees in this one, so don't touch the trees. Don't worry about the barrels and the flickering. Just don't hit the trees, otherwise you'll spin out. Choose the right route again, because it's right. It's right, right, left, left, right for the 5 stages. And then there's some tunnels. See, 3,000 points, 3,400 now. It's pretty good. Nearly up with him. There we go. Use a turbo. Just don't hit those trees, whatever you do. Completely slows you down and spins you out. It's really annoying because the all the Taito signs. Yeah, I got him. 73 seconds, really good. Because the programmers, they put the trees and the lampposts right on the corners to make you, so if you go into the corner you smash, they place them like that. Okay, you're under arrest on suspicion of first-degree murder. Didn't say murder, it said he was an armed robber. Suspicion of armed robbery. What's this about a murder? Not a very good justice system in the land of Chase HQ. They start making up charges against you. So now you turn the BGM back on. Oil, tyre and bumper every time. And then, yeah, don't need turbo or supercharger. This one is actually quite difficult, even on the first round. This is Nancy at Chase HQ. We've got an emergency here. A gang of Chicago pushers are fleeing toward the suburbs. The target vehicle is a German sports car. Over. Right, so yeah, this one's actually quite difficult. It's even harder on round 2 and 3, but we'll get to that later. It's a really annoyingly placed lamppost on this. It sometimes gets me, and I absolutely hate it. So yeah, the route on this one is left, so keep to the left when it comes. So here we go, keep to the left. Otherwise the distance will be reset. Don't worry about the yellow things, just avoid the cars. Try to avoid both, but if you have to hit one, make sure it's a yellow thing and not a car, because the cars slow you down more, I think. Yeah, annoyingly placed. Here it is, right there. And if you're not on the left hand side and you don't know it's there, it can be really annoying. So here he is, caught up with him. Use a turbo. It's actually best to get him in the tunnel because there's no lampposts and that in the tunnel, apart from at the start. If you hit the side of the tunnel at the start, then you get hurt and you really slow down. So yeah, 64 seconds, really good. And I didn't even need the 3rd turbo, so get tons of score for that. Okay, you're under arrest on suspicion of selling drugs. Looks more like a member of the village people than an actual drug dealer. Right, so yeah, oil. Whoops, turn the BGM off. Oil, tyre and bumper again. And then let's go to the 4th one. This is Nancy at Chase HQ. We've got an emergency here. The LA kidnapper is speeding toward the outskirts of town in a red 2-seater, and he put 2-seater as one word. 2-seater. Over. So yeah, I find this one easier than the 3rd one. Sometimes it depends whether I hit the lamppost in the 3rd one or not. But usually I don't really hit any tree or Taito sign in this. Not doing too well on the car thing. Yeah, keep to the left. Ways on the left. Yeah, annoyingly placed tree there. It's really annoying how the programs did that, because it's very frustrating if you hit them. 2 tunnels, so you won't catch up to them in the 1st tunnel, only in the 2nd tunnel. Here come the Taito signs. Yeah, beware of that. Just slow down. Keep your finger off the accelerator when you do that bend. Here he is. Use a turbo and just keep getting him. Keep pressing 2 to activate another turbo. So, nearly got him. One more. using the last turbo. See, I did find that more difficult. I did it in 1 second more slowly and used all my turbos. There's an annoying Taito sign there. My nemesis. Okay, you're under arrest on suspicion of kidnapping. And there he is. He's been kidnapped himself by the police now. Right, so yeah, last one of this round. Oil, tyre and bumper. Again, you shouldn't need the supercharger or turbo for this one, for any of them in round 1. So, yeah, let's go. I do advise getting the bumper every time, no matter what the manual says. It makes it much easier. This is Taito Chase H.Q. We've got an emergency here. The Eastern Bloc spy from Washington is fleeing toward the suburbs. The target vehicle is unknown. Over. Again, it doesn't matter what the target vehicle looks like, because you know when you've caught up with them. It's a dark blue car, and it has an arrow over it. The music changes and the sirens go on it, and you can never overtake him, and you know what it looks like. You don't have to know in the report. Yeah, for a while I used to play this game without the bumper, because the manual suggested not to get the bumper because it slows you down, but it really makes the game much easier. The manual's wrong. So yeah, off we go. Always get the bumper, makes it so much easier. You do hardly any damage on the target car if you don't have the bumper, and it needs loads more hits. I get much better times on this game with the bumper than without, so that's proof enough. Keep to the right, because the way is on the right in this one. Because it's right, right, left, left, right, and there's an annoying tree on the corner there that the program has put there. Don't touch the car before you enter the tunnel, otherwise you'll be pushed to the outside of the road and hit the side of the tunnel wall before you entered and spin out, which is really annoying. So here he is. Avoid the Taito signs. So you know which one's the car. You don't have to. It doesn't matter that it's unknown. Use another turbo. He is quite difficult. So don't touch the side of the tunnel. Keep using your turbos. See, if you think he's difficult now, because I'm actually finding him quite hard, sort of. He's even hard on round 2 and 3, I assure you. And after round 3 the game ends. So just 2 more hits. See, they go miles away. Think what happens if you spun out and hit a tree. You'd never take ages to catch up with him. It's really annoying. And that was one of the complaints in Sega Power magazine, I think. It just takes, or I think it was Sega Pro, one of those two. When you make a mistake, it just takes ages to catch up with him again. It's the trouble with this game. So yeah, that's him. See, it's pretty hard. I did him in 29 seconds left, as opposed to above 60. Okay, you're under arrest on suspicion of espionage and first-degree murder. Didn't say anything about murder, just said espionage, well, spy. So yeah, now we're on to round 2. Again, you don't need any of the other things, just get oil, tyre and a bumper. You can get the other things if you want, but this one is easy. It's just a repeat of the first one. Except this time the programmers have put in more lampposts, and some of the levels have additional hazards such as boulders and other things. The target cars are the same, but they're harder to apprehend now. So I'll leave the video there and end this, and continue it in and do round 2 in part 2 of this series. So see you then.